You know, that keyboard sure is ugly sitting on there. Let's fix that. Alrighty, I think we saw enough assembly process in the previous video to last a while. So we're gonna have to tear this thing down so we can do the next step here, which is to make a template for the keyboard. So I think it'll just be a lot faster if I just snap it apart. So alrighty, so what we're gonna do here, see there's the screw holes right there. So we only need this thing to be there. And there's screw holes right there. So we can line up our paper. Looks like these are going to be keyboard mounts right here. Let's pretty up our tape job a little bit. That's pretty ugly. And just for kicks, we'll tape the other side. Alright. So we'll put it up against this edge here. That will go there. Another hole over here. Another hole over here. Okay. We want it to go a little bit further out, but not much, because we don't want it to mess up with where the lid sits. So let's see, are these the same size screws? Alright, let's put some screws in it. That'll be what our base for our keyboard will need to look like. Let me get the screws out again. Then I think we'll transfer it to cardboard and make sure we got a good template. Then we can talk about maybe some plastic. So there's the cutout template there. Or at least the paper one. The template for the template. Get this cut out. Yeah, we're off on this one. Alright. That one. Go ahead and draw the opening. We'll see if we can come up before we go much further on this. Before we go much further on this, we should probably lay this out and make sure this is going to actually be a workable solution. Last thing I need is all this stuff here falling inside. Well, I had hoped to put an Alt key next to the space bar, but apparently that is not going to work. Alright, so I got a picture of an Apple II Plus on on my computer here. Let me see. Make it larger. Yeah. As big we can get it. Well, let's see what we can do here. So let's see here. On the Apple II Plus, it's got a wider space bar that actually fills a hole, so we're going to have to improvise there. Numbers at the top. That's not too shabby. So I think that's what we're doing. Obviously, if you get looking closely at it, it's not going to look right. But I'm thinking, you know, from a distance, if you poke yourself in the eye, everything will look pretty good. I wonder if that would fit better then. Alright, I think we got a key layout that'll work. It's not ideal, but it'll probably work. Let's see what we got to do here. Let's get the screws out of this and get this cut. I rather like the way it fits on this side more than I do on this side, so probably we're going to take a measurement here. Here it's 4 1/4 inches. Just get the jigsaw and do it right. Snapped it right out. Okay. It's coming out just great. Alrighty then. Yeah, it's and cardboard's gone. Well, let's see if we got lucky. 'Cause there was damn sure no skill involved there. Doesn't fit that way. Okay, move out this way. Yeah, you can see where the holes almost line up. They're just nowhere close. Did a really shitty job making a template, and then our piece suffered for it. Try it this way. Yeah, it's a little closer this way. Yeah, not really. I'm pretty sure it goes this way. It'll take a lot of adjustment. I think if I could just get some out right here and bring the whole thing that way, that would help a lot. So why don't I work on that? Right here. And it is getting closer. Alright, we're almost there. We've almost got a fit here. And hug it out a little more. And a bit more. How much do we lack at getting this stuff together here? We need more what? Looks like that one's ready. Just see what we got here. Well, let's just see if we can get any screws in. Okay, that one's off. Gotta come up this way. I've got to start making better templates. We might be able to put this together. This one. I'll take it. Let's see how it looks from here. Look at that, will you? Come up with a solid plan of how I'm going to attach them yet. Here we cross that bridge when we came to it. So we'll cut this off. Pull these off. Okay. Obviously that's going to need to be come up a little bit. Even that cardboard's thickness would make it better. See if this works after it sets up well. So earlier I snapped a quick picture of the keyboard layout when we got it all kind of rough laid out there. So now I cut 2 strips of cardboard to put in here underneath there to kind of space the keys up. And like I say, this is a little bit of a bounce if somebody touches them. Of course, all the keys will move, but I say we try it. Let's try gluing them down here with this glue. If it doesn't work, we'll try something more drastic, like putting screws through here in every key. But I say we give it a shot. So I think how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to put some glue on here. Alright? Because I've tried other methods and it didn't work out so good. Okay. So then I'll just dip the key in it. And then we'll put it in place here. It helps if you hold the helps if you hold your palette a little bit level. About the only thing this key has going for it is it's gray. Alright, well I got called away for supper, but now we're back, and I'll tell you, I walked out of the room and I walked back in and I saw this with the keyboard there and I thought, man, that looks great. So yeah, we just got to get our spacing right here, because I don't want a massive gap at one point, you know, and then a little bitty gap somewhere else. Alright, so we've got our faux keyboard all assembled here, glued into place. It's been able to dry overnight and all that fun stuff. So here's my plan. This here is a set of switches and LEDs similar to what's attached to the motherboard. These here, wall inserts, whatever you want to call them, these came with a closet organizer set. And we didn't need these because we actually hit a few studs behind the drywall. So anyway, I had these left over. Point of the story. So here was my thinking. I'm going to use these, right? And they will push the button. And so the other part of the equation is, if you look here, like this is the P key, right, for the power. If we just trim the end off of here, where is the camera? There it is. So if we trim the end off of this guy here, we should be able to get it somehow or another to fit on there, even if we got to cut a notch in it, right? Then we'll super glue this to the key, the bottom of the key. So the next part of the equation is simply to drill a hole right here and right here to allow the plunger to go through our little plastic sheet that we put up here as the back of our keyboard. Once that's in play, once that can happen, we can glue our key and figure out how far away we need to mount the switch in order to make it work when you push the buttons to activate the switches. So that is how we intend to make that work. First thing we need to do is cut the ends off of these to see if we can make this work or not. So let's work on that first. We're probably going to have to trim both ends because, as you can see, it's got this flared end, and I wanted to leave that on there. It makes a nice finished piece for this. But I'm thinking I'm going to need to trim that off too, so I can go through the hole after it's glued to the key. So I mean, you have to think about the big picture there too. If I left it on there and just trim this other end, we know we got to trim this off. So let's go ahead and cut this off and see what we got. Alright. Yeah, we don't even have the hole, so I have to trim some more. So we know we got to cut that much off. Okay, cool. So with that, let's see how it fits on the switch. Yeah, that actually fits pretty nice. So I think we'll kind of alter our original plan to where this side here will go against the key for a little more surface area to glue. So I'm liking that plan. I'm gonna have to cut a notch out here so I can glue it on there. And then if we do it that way, we can always trim more off of here if need be as well. So it's not a bad plan. So we're pretty sure this plan's going to work. Then it's coming up with some sort of bracketry to hold that switch up against there. That's going to be part of the magic too. Alright, let's get a drill bit that fits. Comes a point when you just got to get to the getting. As usual, it looks like I got one that's too small and one that's too big and nothing in between. We'll just use this one. Man, I hope this doesn't tear everything all up. Well, let's give it a shot. Right here in the middle. Kind of looks like the middle. Okay. Well, we made it through. Does this come anywhere close to fitting? You know, it doesn't seem like it's too far off. Of course, we might only be going through the cardboard. So let's wallow it out a little bit. Not quite. Keep working with it. Keep working with it. Okay, we're close. A little bit more. We have a tight fit that we don't want. Nothing like having all the right tools, huh? Wallow it out some more. I think probably we're about where we want to be, and we can probably file down this piece if we need more or less. So let's leave the hole alone. We got that one. Let's get another hole drill over here. And right in the middle as best we can. Looks pretty good to me. Well, that went right through in that one. Okay. So. A little too tight. That actually feels pretty close to right. A little more wobbly than I wanted it, but it just might need to be like that. So I'm gonna go dump this shavings all out, trash, and then we will proceed from there. Alright, looking at it from the underside, let's see a couple things I want to do here. One, I need to get something and trim this cardboard off because it's actually interfering with the lid. Let's get that out of the way. The razor scraper. That ought to work to do the job. So there's that. Nice. So I think the next thing to do for tonight, and then we could probably wrap up for the night. So let me see if I can get a little notch going here. Hey, so look at there. We cut the notch a little deeper. Might be able to get that in there more. Let's see how that fits. Alright, well I guess that's about as good as it's going to get. So I gotta get the other one ready. Alright, now they look about the same. Pretty close. So I just gotta notch this one. A little more idea of what I was trying to accomplish on the second one, so I'm hoping it'll go a little smoother than the first. Oh, that fits nice. I wish the other one fit that nice, to be honest. So we'll get a little super glue on there. And we'll have us a cap on a... And we may need to adjust our hole to make sure it'll go through, but it looks pretty good to me. Figured out here. Make sure we get glue all the way in there. Okay. Take this piece. Just kind of stick it on there. Get a big blob of glue on there. Yeah. Alright. We'll just put a little glue on here and then we will probably be done for the night. Alright, so the button's dried overnight, and we got these guys on here, there and there. So just did some little measuring with this other set of switches here. I got a couple ideas how I could do this. One way makes it serviceable and one way makes it easier, so I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards easier at this point. Okay, so it looks like to me that I could cut the cardboard out around the key, okay, around both of these keys here, and that'll give it some travel, and it should still sit level with the other keys when it's not depressed, but it'll give it some room to move by cutting out that cardboard. So that's one point there. And then of course, if we look right here, this is the underside, and here's the switches, right? So they'll basically, yeah, this should be the power one right here, the blue one. So the switches will go right there. Then I thought about making a plate, another plastic plate about like this, only about half as wide, and turning these switches this way, like so, so that plate could sit over the top of them, and it would be removable and all that good stuff. Thing is, I don't have screws here that would be long enough to go through a second piece of plastic, so that's already an issue. I'm gonna have to get screws. Secondly, I don't know, it's going to be a big pain in the butt. So what I'm kind of leaning towards is a less serviceable method, which would be, see, these here hold the fans together on a mining rig. So basically I could come in like this and surround it there, right? glue those down with super glue, right? Then come in like this and glue those down with super glue. And since the switch decided to just go on the floor, so what I'm trying to explain, then a fifth one could lay over the top of the switch, just with the little wires hanging out, and glue all that together, and that should keep it in place over the hole. And basically build the same thing over here. This side, this side, this side, this side. Yeah. So that's what we would have to keep everything in place. So we're either going to have to go buy screws, or we're going to have to just make it as is with what we have. And since making it as is with what we have doesn't cost any money or a trip anywhere, I want to vote for that. So there's our basic setup. And then the LEDs, I was thinking, probably, I don't know why, I just see it in my mind's eye on the left side. Oh, nice. Yeah. So let's see. So I was kind of thinking, let's put these up here in these slots here, right? And then when they light up, you'll see them through the slot. So that might be an option too, to keep the factory appearance more or less, and then be able to see the lights when it's turned on. Alright, so this would be the P. Does it have room to move it on? If I had an X-Acto knife, which I do not, probably this would be a lot easier. So P would go in there like that. Totally working. It was. I guess I can slide it. Yeah, that goes. Put the glue on this piece this time. There. And there. Put it in place. Oops. I can set up already on this. Okay. So then, I'll turn it this way, I guess. Assuming it can still fit that way. So here, and it's supposed to glue right over it. I guess it's okay. It's crooked. I ain't real happy about that. It'll do. It'll do. Yambito would say it's a bit fiddly. So I'd leave that alone for a minute. Maybe some of that glue will set. So after drying overnight, I had to make a couple of adjustments. The P didn't come out completely straight, but I hope the camera's picking up that click. You get a nice sweet click there when you push it, and here's the R key. So we have a power button and a reset button. Ta-da! I told you how to do it that way. Alrighty, I'll just turn this over. Here we go. So the only thing left to do now, as far as this little part goes, is let's send back out to 1. Is we gotta find a place to put the LEDs. And looking over here at our setup here, it would be best to not have to try to drape these wires over the spinning fan of the CPU cooler. So I'm thinking the hot setup here would be to put it on this side of the case, and I'm really leaning right now towards just super gluing them right here. I got these here tweezer dealy guys. Got the tweezer guys here, and we're about to find out if it's going to be okay or not, huh? We're going to do it. Alright, moment of truth here. Oh, I didn't turn the power supply on. Oh my goodness. Ready? Score! P button turns the power on. How about that? Oh, and see the LEDs over here? How cool is that? So we got our LEDs up here in the vents, huh? So if we were to put the top on this thing, like so, alright, how about that? And so if we look up here at the monitor, see we got two up there, yeah. Very cool. I almost want to test the reset switch, and yet that's kind of not good for the computer. Ah, it'll be alright. Ready? We press the reset. Yep. That did it. Look at that. Yeah, it's starting again. So both buttons work. How cool is that? That is very cool. There we go, we got us in. Nice. Yeah, so I just love the way those LEDs look in there, man. They really came out nice. Look at that. Got the hard drive, that's the red one, and then the green's just power. This is really turning into something, isn't it? Hey, y'all, thanks for watching the videos and all that. And if you're enjoying the series, make sure you bump that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. We'll have to pick up the brackets for the hard drive and the video card in the next one, I guess. But anyway, y'all take care, alright? See you in the next one.